Okay, if you want to add text anywhere onto your screen, whether this is like titles or even just like a few subtitles or captions, or credits at the end, then you would come find the type tool in your toolbar and click anywhere on screen where you want them. We can reposition them, resize them, whatever we want later on. All right, you'll click anywhere on screen. And while the box is red, that means we're in the box. You can just click and start typing. And I'm going to type a title, Kitchen Talk. All right, and this font and color treatment is terrible. So I'm going to click in here and select it all. All right, and we want to change the font, first of all. I don't know, maybe something like a little bit less terrible. Sure. Let's make it all caps. That's nice. I hate red in this case. Whatever, right? Sure. Let's make it white. Stroke is the outline. So if you want that, all right, now I'm back into making it terrible. So never mind. There we go. You can change the, let's make this a little bit bigger. You change the thickness of that outline. If you want for some reason to like this whole block here to be filled in with a color, that's background. I don't want to do that. This is often used for like closed captioning or subtitles. If you want to have a little shadow, we can make that darker, and we should have a distance control here. Is that here? Oh, I think that's hardness. Oh, there's our distance. All right. I'm not saying that this is the pinnacle of design, but there it is. Now, importantly, that text element on screen is represented here in the timeline, right? So you can change when in time it occurs, right? If we want this to be like after all the video elements and then the title pops up, or if we want to have it like at the beginning, title pops up. And that actually worked out nicely. And then of course, like anything else in the timeline, if you hover over the ends, you can either make it longer in duration or you can trim it in duration. I'm going to zoom in a little bit here. The other thing we could do is we could add our fades. So if we right click right at the end, apply default transition, that is our fade in, fade out. Here, let's put a fade in here. All right, you can watch that play in. There's our title fades in. And then of course, you know, the longer, you could change the duration of that transition. So this will be like a very slow fade out. So we'll fade in and very slowly start fading out. Like, whatever, you know, this is all a stylistic decision. Anyways. Cool. So that's adding text on screen. Oh yeah, and I should point out also that if you don't want to do fades that way, you can absolutely manipulate the opacity bar here. So we could pull it down. There's 50% opaque. There's 12.5% opaque. But even better is you could use the pen tool and add points and change the opacity through time, automating its opacity properties. You know, whatever your project needs. Cool. Now, if you lose this properties, oh here, it's not showing the properties because we're not on the text. We want to be in text and in there and select all. All right, so we have all sorts of controls over here, font size, centered, and you'll notice the center doesn't quite land in the center of the screen. It's centering to a different alignment, but we can come down here to align and transform, and there we can center it to screen. So that's centered, and we can center it vertically that way. And then if you need to move it, I mean, you could just come over to the arrow tool and just move it somewhere else on the screen. But you could also manipulate these position values here with the XY sliders. If you had 2 lines here, let's center that vertically as well. Then you can use these controls to increase or decrease the spacing between the lines. That's there, perfect. Completely unreadable. Spacing between letters. Oh, I gotta select everything. There's a good title. Let's center that horizontally again. There we go, and vertically again. Perfect. There is some title treatment if I've ever seen title treatment. Anyways, yeah, so there's tons of controls, and should you ever lose the properties panel for this, you can, let's say we were working in color for a bit. Right, we're here in color. I can click into the text with my text tool. I can select everything, but I'm not seeing the text properties. I am seeing like the effect controls for that video clip, but not the text properties. And so there's a couple different ways we could do that. We can go to workspaces. Sorry, we can go to window and come down to properties, and that'll just pop it up as a separate panel. Or we can switch back to the editing workspace. And there it is waiting for us. So yeah, it all depends on like how you want to work and what you want to sort of emphasize. If you're really working in color and you just need to like change something really quick, but you don't want to leave the color workspace, then you can just pop up the properties window. So you just need to like, oh no, that's got to be smaller, and this is a little ridiculous. So yeah, that's what I needed, and that's recenter vertically and horizontally again. Great, and then I'll get back to working on my color. There we go, done. All right, that is adding text in Premiere.